Money is a mirror. It doesn't create who you are, it reflects it. A weak man with money becomes arrogant. A strong man with money becomes silent. Because power doesn't scream, it whispers. Everyone says they want money, but what they truly want is the feeling they think money will give them. Freedom, control, respect. But here's the trap. When your value depends on what you own, you'll always be owned by what you value. You'll chase numbers on a screen instead of mastering your own mind. And the moment your peace depends on income, you've already lost your wealth. Real wealth isn't in your bank account, it's in your behavior. You can lose money, you can lose people, but if you never lose your discipline, you'll never stay broke for long. Because money follows order, not chaos. And order begins in the mind. They tell you to work hard, but working hard without direction is just expensive exhaustion. The rich don't work harder than you. They think differently than you. They understand leverage. They move in silence. They let emotions guide others, while they let logic guide them. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the kind of life you want. Poor people buy comfort. Powerful people buy control. The truth is, you can't have power without discipline, because power without control is just chaos in disguise. That's why most people who suddenly get money lose it just as fast. They never learned emotional control before financial success. So their wealth collapses under their own behavior. Money doesn't change you, it simply amplifies who you already are. Part 2, the weight of power. Power isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can. But you don't need to. Look at the most powerful people in history. They don't chase attention, they command it. They don't beg for respect, they earn it through discipline. That's the psychology of power. The less you react, the more control you hold. Because when you can't control your emotions, someone else will. There's always someone watching, measuring how you move, how you speak, how you respond. People respect silence because silence hides strategy, and strategy builds fear. When you walk into a room and say nothing, you become the question everyone wants to answer. Power is not about domination, it's about calibration. Knowing when to speak, when to pause, and when to disappear. The most powerful people understand this. The more invisible you become, the harder it is for anyone to control you. That's why power and mystery always coexist. The man no one fully understands becomes the man no one can defeat. Power, when used correctly, isn't about controlling others. It's about controlling outcomes. And that begins by mastering impulses. A calm man in chaos is unstoppable because he's not playing the emotional game. He's playing the long one. Most people destroy themselves by reacting too soon. The wise wait. They let noise burn itself out. Then in silence, they move once. Clean, sharp, decisive. That's what separates the strong from the respected. Because respect doesn't come from fear, it comes from consistency. When people know you don't bend, when they know you don't beg, they begin to orbit around your certainty. Respect is the rarest currency in the world, and the only one that can't be bought. You can purchase admiration with wealth. You can buy followers with status. But respect must be earned in silence when no one is watching. Money can buy comfort, but only discipline earns legacy. Every man wants respect, but few are willing to sacrifice comfort to get it. Because respect doesn't come from what you achieve. It comes from what you refuse to compromise. Respect is born when you can walk away from deals, from people, from chaos, and still remain at peace. That's when people realize you're not driven by greed, you're guided by principle. and that kind of power cannot be faked. The psychology of respect is simple. You don't get it by demanding it. You get it by becoming undeniable. When your discipline speaks louder than your desires, you become respected. When your results speak louder than your words, you become remembered. When your silence speaks louder than your presence, you become powerful. This is the paradox of wealth. When you no longer need validation, you attract attention. When you no longer need control, you gain influence. When you stop chasing money, it begins to chase you, because wealth was never the goal. Power was never the prize. Respect was never the destination. They were all just reflections of the same thing, self-mastery. If you can master your emotions, control your focus, and stay silent when the world is loud, you'll begin to understand why some men never raise their voice, but still shake entire rooms. Money follows control, power follows stillness, respect follows restraint. That is the true psychology of wealth and the highest form of power, to have everything and still need nothing.